Hey everybody, this is Keisha with Lakisha Keene Saving Greens, and I just want to welcome you to my channel if this is your first time. And I would like to encourage you to click that subscribe button. I live in Southern California in the high desert, zone 7B. I'm in I guess this would be considered suburban area. I have about a 1/4 acre that I'm working with. Well, less than that because we have to include my house. And so this is my little humble garden, and I wanted to just come out here and just do a run through on some of the things I need to do to show you guys what I have planned and what I'm already working on, and also as a reminder for me that I can look back and say, oh, that's right, I forgot I have to do this or that or whatever. So I know all these tubes and stuff, I'm going to clean up a lot of this. That's why I have my trash can sitting right here. I already cleared out a lot, but the last few days we've been having stormy weather and it's been super cold. We even got a little bit of hail and some snow. One day we had sleet, but look at what's yet to come. So while there was a break in the weather, I said, okay, let me come out here and do this real fast. But I do plan on picking up all of these tubings and stuff. I've been working on my water, my irrigation system, as you saw in my previous video. And I'm still not quite finished because there's some things that I want to do, and I'm going to talk to you about that. So I'm going to still need these, but tonight I'll probably take these inside, and while I'm sitting there watching YouTube, most likely watching YouTube and gardening videos, then I will separate all the connector pieces so I can reuse them in other areas of my garden. These are some of those onions that I planted. Not all of them came up because the water over here wasn't great. The tubing kept popping off and I didn't realize it until late. So I have more onions that I'm going to plant into this kiddie pool, but I'm also going to put up a trellis over this so that I can grow some other things up the trellis. And one of the other things that I'm going to do is get all these branches and twigs picked up. I still have to cover these two beds. I've already got them chopped up, all the weeds and leftover things that was growing in here, chopped up, and I got chicken poop added to this, and some, if you can see it there too, some of the alfalfa pellets. And so now I just have to cover these up with some topsoil and then put my black plastic tarps over it and let them sit until May. I'm not planning on planting anything out after May 1st. Then I'm gonna try and get everything out. For my area, a lot of people, a lot of the veteran more experienced gardeners like to wait until after Mother's Day because sometimes we have a surprise freeze. Like right now, even with all this rain and stuff, our temps have been in the 60s, 50s, 60s in the daytime, 40s, and at night in the 30s and 20s still. So it's still too cold for me to put out anything, and as long as the temps stay like that, then it's best that I wait. So anyways, I'm gonna take you over here. This is my pomegranate tree. I finished getting it pruned up, and I put some wood ash and biochar, some chicken poop, and some of the ground cover, like the twigs and leaves and stuff around it. And I'm just gonna top it off with some super poop on top and some wood chips. So, and then I hopefully I'll get a ring of rock going around it to keep everything in place. But that's the plan so far. Over here, next to the problem child bed that I had, I'm going to add in a new garden bed. A low, not a raised bed, a low lying bed right in here. I'm just going to take this dirt out of this container here and put down in here and reuse it and get this all filled with super poop that I have and get it ready, because if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm promoting a new garden challenge for this year called Mystery Seed Swap Challenge, and I need some more growing space, so when people send me seeds and we swap out seeds, I'll have a spot to put them. Also, I've got this problem child bed covered over. Hopefully it'll kill off the cattail that's growing in there. Every year I have cattails growing up through there, and it's just strange to me, but they do. And I tried digging them out and I can't get them all out, so I'm hoping maybe I can kill them off this way. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, if they don't die, at least when I get my pond put in, I have some cattail already to put in my pond. So this is where I'm going to grow my watermelons, and I have them covered right now because Tiger, my kitty, likes to walk through there and spray the fence back there. And I don't like that he does that, because if he's tempted to dig around underneath this peach tree here, which it has blooms now, which is pretty. If he digs around under there, I had planted some bulbs, I think lily bulbs, on either side. I put some on that side too, under the peach tree. So I can't have him digging around in there with those bulbs in there. So I'm trying to keep him out. But I think what's happening is the neighborhood cats are coming in, and the male cats that are not fixed are spraying. And so Tiger, who is fixed, is going around and covering up where they're spraying. So he's been getting into my beds, because these other cats are getting into my beds. And you guys are something else. Every time I see a stray cat come into my yard, I'm running out the door, chasing them out of my yard, trying to keep them out of my garden. This is my other garden bed. Right now I'm just having it rest. I have what's left of my lettuce, and the red lettuce has already looked like it's trying to flower. Look how tall that is. I think it's already trying to flower. The colors are so pretty though. And my arugula already started flowering. So I'm gonna leave these here and not do anything with this bed for a while. I will remove those lettuce and stuff when I'm ready to put some stuff in there. I'm just not ready to put anything in there right now. I was gonna try and put some radishes, but I still have to figure out. So on this side of this bed is where that huge pine tree that was dead that I had cut down, it's where it was at. So I think what I'm gonna do, since I have water already over here, is I bought some cheap garden bags from Dollar Tree. Yeah, from Dollar Tree. And I know they're not gonna last. They're not built that way. But I'm gonna use them as a grow bag and grow some potatoes in there just for this season, because I have other plans for this area here. We still want to get this wall taken down and vinyl gate put in like what's on the other side of our yard. So I don't need anything here permanently. Just something that's going to be temporary for right now until I figure out what I'm going to do in the space that this is knocking this wall down is going to offer me. It's only going to be a small additional area of space, but I have some ideas for it. Some trees or something that I might want to put in that area. When I get to that point, I'll explain it. This pile of branches and twigs right here, I'm hoping to borrow. I have my shredder, but it only shreds branches up to about 1.5 inches around, and some of these branches are a little thicker than that. They're 2 inches up to about 3 inches, and so I'm gonna need something a little stronger. A friend of mine from church, he has a more stronger shredder that he said we could borrow, so I might put both shredders to work and get all this stuff shredded down. And then there's of course a lot of trash that I gotta pick up because the wind was kicking and everything blows into my yard. We're at the end. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we're at the end of a cul-de-sac, and the way the wind blows, it blows into the front of my house and then through my backyard, and so everybody's leaves, trash, everything comes through my yard. So here I have big plants. This is where Tiger likes to take his little naps and stuff during the day. So I'm not going to take out all of the catnip. I was going to call it kitty weed because that's what it is. But I'm not going to take it all out. But I'm going to take a good amount of it out and reconfigure this bed. Make it into a flower bed is what it's going to be. Just so Tiger will have an area that he can go and lay down and everything. So I'm going to get that dug out. And I have a super hoop sitting in the back of my truck right now, just begging to be used. It's just been so wet out here and cold that I haven't gotten to it yet. So I plan on building some trellises. So one of the trellises, an A-frame trellis, is going to connect these two beds together. And I'm going to try and grow some cucumbers and stuff on it. I still have to get these containers connected to the water line that's going through this container bed. But I first want to get all the weeds that's growing in the containers, get all the containers moved and shifted to where I want them, get the other containers out of the house out here in the lineup, add whatever other new containers I want to add to this, get it out here and connected, and then get this filled up again with some more wood chips. Now when my chicken kept getting out, the little white one, she kept getting out, she would come over here and dig all these wood chips out of here, and she had them, I can show you, here's an area where they're still out that she did. And she kicked these wood chips all over the place. I remedied that problem. She's the only one who's got her wings clipped because she don't know how to stay put in her area. But I still have a big pile of wood chips from when I had my pine tree, my big pine tree trimmed and another pine tree taken out. So I have plenty of wood chips to put in here. And that's what I'm going to do for that. And then I'm going to put up some more arches in the middle here. But they're going to be a little bit different. And you'll get a chance to see that when I get that done. And I'm going to add arches at the end of this patio. And right here at the start of where my garden opens up. So I'm happy for that. Look at my apple trees. Well, I say trees because it's one tree. There's 4 trees grafted onto this one stalk, so they're all different, but it's so pretty. And the hummingbirds just come and take what they need, and it's so nice to see. I hope all this cold weather doesn't have any adverse effects on my fruit trees. My lemon is trying to get better. It was this real pale yellow color, and I realized it was because it needed some nitrogen. It was starving, so I put some chicken poop in there and some alfalfa pellets, and it's starting to make a comeback. So I might not get any lemons again this year because of that. Last year all the leaves fell off because I left it out in the cold. I haven't taken that in the house. This is the second winter that it stayed outside. So I didn't get any fruit on it last season either because of that. I got all the water on Tomato Row hooked up and ready to go. I'm going to paint on Lola's outhouse right here. I bought some stencils and stuff to use, and I already have paint left over, and I have some decorations that I bought to go on here and some lights, so I'm excited about that when I get that done. All of this dirt, I don't know if you can see, it's just a big old hill of dirt from where I had to dig it out to put in Tomato Row. This dirt just, it needs to get taken out. My husband and I were talking about renting a skid steer, I think that's what they're called, to get this dirt lifted out and taken out so that we can get the, look at this red Russian kale. I just trimmed it today and use the leaves in my breakfast, put it in my eggs. Anyways, I like to get this dirt out of here so we can get the irrigation put in and start growing some grass on this side of the house. I can't wait for that day because it's going to be so pretty to have just grass all back here, and all the areas where you see dirt is going to be grass. Over here, I need to get all this cleaned out. Now that I got the water for Tomato Row situated, then I'm going to connect the chicken's water container to the irrigation system. So every time everything gets watered, the chickens get watered too. I had that set up that way before, and it worked perfectly. I never had to worry about water for my hens. It just automatically did it. So I'm going to do that again. And these are the other branches and stuff that I need to get shredded and cleared out. So I have to get all of this cleared out. And I'm moving this blue container to another area. And I'm going to get all these leaves and everything thrown on top of my compost over there. And that's where I'm going to grow my pumpkins this year. And so I'm going to have to clear out all of this stuff. Find a spot for all of this stuff, get it all cleared out so I can have a pumpkin patch right here. And then I got to get all this cleared up so I can do all my building projects. Like I was talking about the trellis, the A-frame trellis on that side. I've got my seedlings started over here in the shed. So that's good. And then I have seedlings. I have more seedlings in the house. So once I get all of this cleaned up and cleared out, I'll be so happy. Look at the wind blew I had a rock holding it down. Blew my black plastic tarp and other trash all right over here in this area. So I'm going to work on getting that out. And I'm not going to get all of this stuff done today, obviously, but because it's still pretty cold and that weather, those clouds are looking very promising for some more rain. So most likely I will just get whatever I can done. I'll show you this without going inside the house. Those are my other seedlings that I have. My tomatoes. Those are my tomato seedlings. That's 2 of the 6 trays of seedlings that I started of tomatoes. And it's the last of the chicken poop that I had sitting here that I'm going to put into these other garden beds as I do them. So anyways, you guys, that is an overview of what I got going right now and what I plan on doing in the near future and in the distant future. Oh my goodness, I just noticed I've got flowers coming up. Well, not flowers, but you know, the bulbs that I planted in here are starting to sprout. I was wondering if they were gonna do it. I was getting scared. I only saw weeds coming up. And look at that. I am really happy. I don't remember what bulbs those were. I think those were tulips. I think those were the tulips that I put in there. Now these has not made an appearance yet. I'm hoping that they do, but not as of yet. But those coming up over here on this side is very promising. And then look at these garlics. elephant garlic. They're doing really well too. So, okay, you guys, I guess that's gonna be it for now. I think I talked long enough. There's some other things that I want to do, other surprises that I have planned. This garden is going to look way different by the time I start transplanting my tomatoes and stuff in May. You're going to see a whole different garden, whole new garden. But until then, you guys, I will keep working toward that goal of getting this garden looking really nice for this growing season and making this space just comfortable and relaxing. A nice little escape or getaway. Anyways, you guys, thank you for watching. As always, God bless.